The sterile hum of medical equipment filled the quiet examination chamber aboard the Xelari vessel Harmonia. Nurse Tnay adjusted her lavender-hued uniform, double-checked the translation implant in her ear, and took a calming breath. This was her first solo patient interaction with a Terran, a human from Earth, and she was determined to prove herself to Chief Medic Vartal. Tnay was from the planet Xelari 3, where emotional expression was subtle, controlled, and rarely displayed. So, she had studied Terran physiology and culture diligently, especially the erratic way their emotions tended to manifest. Still, nothing in her training had quite prepared her for Commander Jason Holt. He sat on the edge of the bio table, shirtless. His muscular frame surprisingly relaxed considering he was aboard an alien medical bay. His hazel eyes twinkled as he offered a lopsided smile. "So, Nurse Tnay, is this going to hurt?" His voice sent a strange ripple through her central nerve cluster. "No," she replied, her voice measured. "It is a routine post-arrival examination. We must ensure your biological systems have not reacted adversely to interstellar travel through our wormhole corridor." "Sounds fancy," he said. "You've got the best bedside manner I've ever seen from a 6-foot-tall lavender alien." Tnay blinked. She knew he was attempting humor. Humans were obsessed with humor, but she wasn't sure if that comment was meant as a compliment. Still, she tilted her head in what the translation implant told her was a human gesture of amused tolerance. "I appreciate the feedback," she said, trying to mimic his tone. Jason chuckled, his shoulders shaking slightly. "You're adorable when you try to be deadpan." "Adorable." Tnay turned to her console, flustered. She adjusted the scanning field, hoping the pale glow from the biolights would mask the sudden warmth spreading across her cheek ridges. Was she blushing? Well, that was a human reaction. She was Xelari, composed, logical, but still, she was definitely warmer than before. She cleared her throat, or rather, executed the Xelari vocal reset sequence. "Please lie back," she instructed. "The scan will only take a moment." Jason obeyed, stretching out along the curved surface of the biotable. The scan activated with a soft hum, and blue light passed slowly over his body. Tnay tried to focus on the readouts, but her gaze kept drifting to the lines of his form, the way his chest rose and fell, the curve of his lips. Well, this was unprofessional. Her hands hovered above the interface as she recited diagnostic protocols silently in her mind like a mantra. "You guys always so serious?" Jason asked. His head tilted slightly as he looked at her. "We value professionalism," she replied, eyes still on the scan. "Maybe you need a little earth in your day. Loosen up." "I am perfectly calibrated," she said, frowning. Jason grinned. "That's the cutest way anyone's ever said, chill out." Tnia's system misfired again. The readout shimmered. Wait, was that? She looked closer. Something in his hormone levels spiked. Oxytocin, adrenaline, dopamine. She blinked, recalibrated the scan. "Are you aroused?" she asked, curiosity edging into her voice. Jason laughed. "You say that like it's a surprise." "It is. This is a medical examination." "Yeah, but you're very thorough. And stunning if you don't mind me saying so." Tnay stepped back, her fingers brushing her temple. "I am not programmed for flirtation." Jason sat up slowly, giving her a gentler smile this time. "I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Just being honest. You're fascinating." Fascinating. Her databanks pinged softly at the word. Fascinating implied admiration. Attraction. Affection even. She should have disengaged from the conversation. Redirected. But instead, "You are unlike any patient I have encountered," she said. Well, I am human, he teased. No, she said, stepping closer. I mean, your biological reactions are quite vivid. And your emotional expressions, so direct. I find it intriguing. Jason's expression softened into something sincere. Then maybe we're both intrigued. The silence that followed was charged with something neither of them fully understood. Tnay looked down at her scanner. Your diagnostics are complete. You are in optimal health. He hopped off the table, standing closer than regulation allowed. So, what happens now? She opened her mouth to respond, but was cut off as the doors hissed open and Chief Medic Vartal entered, his 3 eyes narrowing. Nurse Tnay. Commander Holt. Is everything in order? Tnay straightened, regaining composure. Yes, Chief Medic. The examination is complete. Jason took a step back, but not before giving Tnay a subtle wink. I was just telling Nurse Tnay how much I appreciate Xelari medical technology, he said smoothly. Vartal made a low, suspicious hum in his throat. Indeed. As he turned to review the scan logs, Jason mouthed "see you later" to Tnay before strolling out. Tnay felt her temperature spike again. She blamed the ambient lighting. Later that rotation. Tnay returned to her quarters, her mind spiraling through diagnostic anomalies and emotional protocols. She accessed the ship's database and entered a private query. Search. Human courtship behaviors. Thousands of results appeared. She hesitated, then searched again. Search. How to tell if a Terran is flirting. Her hearts beat in dual rhythms. She didn't know what this was between her and Commander Holt, but something had shifted. Something had been initiated. And illogically, she didn't want it to stop. 2 days later, Jason appeared outside the medical bay during a low traffic cycle, holding something in his hand. A gift, he said, offering her a small, delicate object. It was a Terran flower, replicated using the ship's synth-organic printer. A lavender bloom. It reminded me of your skin, he said, a little sheepish. She stared at it, then back at him. This is symbolic, yes? On Earth, yeah. Flowers mean interest, affection, thoughtfulness. She accepted it, gently cradling the bloom. It is beautiful. So are you, he said with no attempt to hide it this time. For a long moment, the silence between them pulsed with more than just awkwardness. It hummed with potential. You're violating at least 3 interspecies medical protocols, she said, though her tone lacked conviction. Jason stepped closer. Then maybe you'll have to punish me. Her breath caught. She'd studied Terran euphemisms. That one had layers. She stepped closer too. I must admit, I find this interaction stimulating. Jason grinned. I'll take that as a yes. And then, without warning, but not unwelcome, he leaned in. It was not the kind of kiss seen in Xelari culture. No chemical bonding or psionic merging. Just skin on skin. Lips meeting. A human expression of connection. Tnay felt her skin pulse with heat. She didn't pull away. Instead, she whispered, "Your pheromones are distracting." "Sorry," he murmured against her lips. "I'll try to tone it down." "Do not," she said. "I am adjusting." 1 week later, Chief Medic Vartal summoned Tnay to his office. "You have been different," he said, studying her with his triple gaze. "Your work is precise, but your biometrics are elevated. Consistently. I am exploring Terran cultural integration," she said carefully. Vartal gave a slow nod. "The commander." "Yes." Was. Then, unexpectedly, Vartal chuckled, a rare, throaty sound. "I once courted a Zendari linguist. unwise, chaotic, ill.